Hey guys, I've been asked a lot recently about raw carnivore. These sort of things come in waves, peaks and ebbs and flows and things. And at the moment I'm getting asked a lot about the raw carnivore diet. What is the difference? Why do I feel better doing it? Why do I not feel better doing it? What biochemistry is at play here? Is there more AGEs? Is there these toxins? Are you reducing deuterium? All these like weird and wacky things of different raw or cooked carnivore diets. What's your opinion on it, Bart? I know you eat or prefer to eat cooked food. You're not a fan of raw food yourself, but what are the pros and cons or most obvious things to you?
Right. Of late, I've actually been eating steak a lot less cooked than what I perhaps would have done even a year ago. And I'm putting that down to my body's instinctual drift towards seeking out what it may or may not need at any given time. It is clear that meat that is not cooked contains higher levels of various nutrients than meat that is cooked. That said, cooked meat is not deficient. How do I know that? Because I ate well done meat pretty much without any semblance of pinkness in the middle for 8 years plus. So if there was going to be a problem, it would have showed up within 8 years, you would have thought. It didn't. So it's unlikely that, at least in my case, that there was any kind of clinical problem. And there'll be others that will report similarly. When I talk about this kind of, I wouldn't mind a bit less well done, which I have been doing for a little bit, that kind of drifts as well. Some days I go like, no, absolutely, this is not what I want. I want it cooked. And I'll go ahead and finish off cooking it to the well done level. What I'm told is well done. I think of it as medium, but I'm told, no, that's well done. Whatever.
Was it?
Whatever she says is correct on all matters, of course. And it just does not seem to me to be an issue. It seems to be a thing that a person can make their own decision on, and on any given occasion even. This whole theological buying into the sectarianism and even within the carnivore community is quite stunning to me in terms of viewing the human psychological bent, I guess. I think of myself as a bit of an outsider to humanity, actually, what with the autism and stuff. I'm like, you people are weird. We're not the weird ones, it's you guys. So, one of the things I enjoy doing is watching a lot what people do, how they communicate about things. And generally, the people that are jumping up and down about anything come across as extreme, a bit nutty, lacking in balance, scientific discipline, and a dispassionate nature about what is basically a dispassionate issue. Why are people so emotional, whatever, about food? Why are we in tribes based on our beliefs about food any more than we would be on our beliefs about God and the great beyond or whatever? It just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense, no. And I'd probably say that, like, our society or culture now, we worship when we go to a supermarket, a mall, a food shop. That's our worship. That's our praise. We don't go to church that often in the Western world. At least people I know don't. I mean, it's very few and far between that I meet anyone that is a religious individual. So it seems like it's taken that part in society, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I come from a religious family, and even, within that, weddings and funerals are in churches. But I can't think of any of my relatives, devout as they may be, who actually attend a church service on a Sunday. I think mostly because I come from an intelligent family, actually, who realize that one's relationship with one's creator, if they believe in such, is that. It's that person's relationship with their creator, not their relationship with others who are actually setting up yet another ring-fenced cult, if you like, and yet another way of controlling people, I guess. That's just my opinion on that. And we've got completely away from diet. That's fine. It's I guess what I'm saying, to circle back to diet, to circle back to should we cook our meat or not, I am absolutely convinced in my own experience and that of many others that I've spoken to that it simply does not matter in terms of getting the nutrient you want, etc. On the flip side of it, the folks that are arguing, well, if you cook your meat, then you're producing so-called carcinogens and you're reducing the nutrient value and all this stuff, to which the only answer I can come up with is, well, look, as a man of science, as a dispassionate, I guess, person who is observing, working in the area and has been for a very, very long time, I would challenge anyone that tells me that if you cook your meat, that's going to be a problem. I would suggest that the person suggesting that there's a problem would need to support that with something, some kind of evidence. And before you start rummaging through your prospective cohort studies, boys and girls, don't bother. Prospective cohort studies are rubbish. Every single one of them, in terms of human nutrition and human health outcomes, that is. Not one of them will give you any information of utility or scientific validity or veracity. We have got to stop tapping these excremental bits of toilet paper. Show me an experiment. Sure. There isn't one. That's sure. The thing is, if there was evidence around nutrition, good scientific evidence, human nutrition and health outcomes, the discussions that we're all having, you and I, us versus the vegans, all of this stuff, the whole area would not exist. There would be nothing to discuss. We'd have the science. Here's the answer. The fact that there is a discussion is your pointer. That's the thing that proves to you absolutely the science doesn't exist. Or at least if there is any science, it's not convincing enough to stop the discussion.
Yeah. From my perspective, it seems like we've cooked for, I don't know the exact figure, but let's just say 500,000 years of cooked food or cooked on meat. Okay, we've been doing it for that long. We've not had instances of cancer and all these diseases coming up because of cooked meat. But we see it in ancient Egypt with the grains and all that sort of things, the Afrostratic plaque, different. We can extrapolate a little bit from there. Now I was kind of wondering I understand this would just be an anecdote, so it'd just be another useless anecdote, of course. But from speaking with lots of people, have you noticed that there's particular trends or things you notice or comments about people that are following a raw meat, carnivorous diet? Is there something that comes up time and time again? You see, oh, this is the problem, or this is the benefit, this is the con, sort of thing?
Mostly, not entirely, absolutely not entirely. Mostly, though, what I find with people who bang on about eat raw, the things that those people generally, the traits that they have in common, generally they're young people. Generally, they're not people who are aged enough, a bit more wise, a bit more educated. They're young people, generally. Secondly, they're young people who seem to think for some reason that their opinion is just as valid as the next person's, even people with more wisdom and education than them, vastly more in some cases. But these are people who are a bit narcissistic and like to jump up and down and say it's all about them in general. Thirdly, along with their lack of age and wisdom and whatever else, they are generally people who lack an education in science. They're generally people who lack an ability to see the forest for the trees, I have found. And or they are people who are social media influencers who need to have some kind of hook, some kind of tag. This is the thing that gets people to watch them.
Yeah.
So they maybe be the most extreme. Like, I'll give you an example. The bloke who can't spell his name without using a number. That one.
Yeah.
Okay. He was a vegan for many years. And his personality as a narcissist, and frankly, as someone who has a history of being a little bit stabby, okay, go and look it up. His hook is being the most extreme whatever he's being. So when he was a vegan, he was the most extreme vegan. Then he decided, no, I'm going to be a carnivore. So he has to be the most extreme carnivore. He must do the most extreme things. He must be the most out there to get attention, which is fine. I mean, we've all got our things, don't we? I mean, my hook is to play this character that I play online where I'm the gruff, rude, sweary, all of that. And I kind of get the actual science and education in there by subterfuge. I educate people before they realize I've done it. And then they turn around and go, oh, shit, I've just been educated. That was fun, but damn, I've learned something. I didn't want to learn anything. I just wanted to be amused or abused. People actually don't mind either, it seems. They want to be offended or they want to be amused, but they don't want to be educated. So that's my thing. His thing, the bloke I'm talking about there, is being as extreme as possible, but actually not providing any real good information, and certainly not coming from a standpoint of having, well, clearly wisdom or actual knowledge in the field. So I think that's what's going on there a bit.
Yeah, I like to keep my ear on the ground just to hear what's going on in different circles, because ultimately people come back to me to consult with me to ask me these questions. So how do I know where they're coming from without some perspective? I did actually watch a few of the videos from the person you just mentioned, and I was digging so hard to try and find the evidence to support their claims. And I thought, oh, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I just, so I started like commenting back, like trying to find out, oh, where's a reference for this? Where's this been proven? But the evidence is oftentimes said as, well, come on. It's like, come on, guys. I've proven this so many times in the last few years before, but it's just so obvious. I mean, come on, how do you not realize it? It's like, well, obviously we don't realize it. You provide the evidence. You tell us why we're idiots.
If you don't share my delusion, you are the problem.
What's the other one? Rock is salt or something, or salt is rock.
Salt is rock.
Yeah.
Yes. We say that around our house all the time. It's good fun. We sit down for a meal. Where is rock? I want the salt. Where is it? And she will say, salt is rock. Of course, we still have salt. It's on the table. It's all good.
I think we'll forever be going back and forth with the macro ratios, cooked versus raw, salt versus not, how much water to drink. At the end of the day, guys, Professor Bart has been doing this diet for a long time now, and ketogenic diet, low carb, summatively, for an even longer period of time. And he's obviously consulted with lots of people like myself. So we've worked out, when we give out recommendations, you watching this video, we give out recommendations based on best practice, best information that we have at hand. Then we have that sort of ballpark figure. Most people fit around here. There's always people who maybe feel a bit better eating more rare meat, Maybe I feel better just reducing the salt a bit. There's always contraindications. If you're someone with adrenal insufficiency, dropping out salt overnight is a horrific idea, especially. So there's always pros and cons to these different things. You can't force the body. So when Professor Bart is always saying things like, oh, transition slowly, try to make one change at a time. He's not just saying that for the hell of it, guys. It's the amount of people that we consult with that are always come back to us like, I've done this. I've gone to a 90% protein ratio and I can't take a crap. No wonder why. Because you're constipated as hell. So yeah, I just wanted to get that in because I thought it'd be a good little segment for us to discuss. Do you have any sort of closing thoughts about raw versus cooked food at all? Whether it be anything outside of the nutrition element of it?
Yeah. Look, I think follow your instincts as your instincts relate to the intake of meat and animal fat. For most people, your instincts will be messed up by carbohydrate toxicity and poisoning over years. Once you get beyond that, you've done the transition period, which frankly can last 9, 12 months for some people to actually get you fully adapted to your appropriate species-specific diet once again. But once you're there, and it's kind of, you're on some kind of a level, some kind of trim, your instincts will come good. Your body will know what it wants in terms of how much meat, how much fat, whether it should be cooked or otherwise. All of those things. Good. Follow those instincts.
Yeah.
Now, if your instincts are, oh, yuck, that liver doesn't taste good, I don't like liver, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
If your instincts are, geez, I love liver and I can't get enough of it, well, good luck. But it's likely that instinct exists at that time because there's something you need at that time. It doesn't mean you should do that every single day of your life. Eat tons and tons of liver. You shouldn't, by the way. But in terms of meat, and when I say meat, I mean muscle meat, skeletal muscles, and the associated fat with those skeletal muscles, salt, water, butter, other dairy plus or minus, eggs plus or minus. Put that in a basket and go, right, what do I feel like today? What do I fancy? Start eating when you're hungry. As soon as you get the message that, oh, I'm quite full now, stop, rinse and repeat. People desperately want to overcomplicate everything is the other great mass pathology out there in the way that people think. We want everything to be complex. We don't want anything simple. This is simple. There you go.
Yeah, I second that completely. We're biologically dynamic. We do different things. We need different things all the time, but our body will tell us. And oftentimes, unless some serious injury or illness happens, it's going to be about the same thing, plus or minus, every time anyway. I eat, largely speaking, the same amount of food when I'm trying to just maintain my body weight. Right now, I've got a different intervention trying to lose body fat, so my intervention is completely different. But it's a short-term thing. I'll get back to normal, get back to eating 2 bricks of butter a day and a load of raw milk and eggs and fish. And right now, I'm not doing that. So it's just a needs by case by needs basis sort of thing, you know.
Awesome. Awesome.
Well, wrap this one up now, Bart. Where can people find you if you want to be found? And obviously, I'll link all your affiliation links and website stuff below in the description box.
Absolutely. Yes, the best place to find my YouTube offerings is to go to YouTube and punch in at Bart-KAY. Or you can go to Google and punch in Bart K, and the first 10 pages will be my videos, with the odd other video that somebody else has made commentary about what I'm saying. Luckily, none of it negative, of course. Absolutely everything all commentators say about me at all times on all platforms is entirely positive. I've been lucky in that regard. But mostly, yes, the first 10 pages are my videos. So you'll find me very, very easily in that regard. If you are looking for the stem cell enhancing, anti-inflammatory and blood flow promoting properties of the fine cereal products, then that's where you go. Pretty much. That's real easy. Otherwise, that's about it. Stick around. And, you might also look on other platforms. For example, the platform formerly known as Twitter. Only what you'll find is I look a bit different over there.
Oh, yeah.
HRH_Ted, His Royal Highness Ted. You'll find that the Ted's over there on that platform, racking up the natives, saying rude words to people, calling them dick spanners or something, whatever it is. I keep telling him he should probably tone it down, but I can't do a thing with him. He's his own burr. He does his own thing. Frankly, so you might find some entertainment there if entertainment's what you're looking for. I'm on the Instagrams, Bart_KAY_nutrition. That's about it. Yeah, cool.
Excellent. All right, I'll link all that below, and thanks so much for your time.
All right, cheers.
Build muscle and lose fat on the carnivore diet.